Welcome back to my channel. My name is Madeline Reeds, and today it's time to go over my March TBR. I will say these are just the physical books I'm picking from my TBR. There are a lot of library books that I got that I will be prioritizing this month. So if you'd like to see what those books are, please check out the video I'll link below. You'll get to see all the ones that I got. For now, these are the 4 I will be looking at. First though, I did have one book I failed to read in February. That one was Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So once again, we go through a month with not having tried her. I do really want to get to this book. I have to get through this book. I want to continue reading her. I hope I like her. So this is my promise that I'm finally going to get to it. Why I didn't choose it for Valentine's Day, I have no idea. This just sat untouched on my night table. But I think I finally have the motivation to start it because my audiobook, which I have started this month, is This Motherless Land by Nikki May. And this one is actually a retelling of Jane Austen's novel Mansfield Park, and I am loving this. Probably too early to guess this, but right now it's giving 5-star vibes. What it is about is you have Funke. She lives in Nigeria with her brother, her mom, and her dad. Unfortunately though, after a terrible accident, she's actually sent to live with her mom's side of the family, who they're estranged from, in England. When she gets there, she has to kind of deal with the prejudice and ignorance of her family. Her family is also very cold, and she has to deal with grief on top of this. However, her cousin Liv, on the other hand, is very open and wants to become friends with her so very badly. Right now, at the part I'm in, I absolutely adore both girls. I love how they're both handling and challenging the prejudice of the family, and I can't wait to see where this book goes. I adore it. Then we have my movie pick of the month, which is The Mummy by Anne Rice. I'm a little scared to read this. 1, I read Interview for the Vampire, and I gave it a 3. I didn't love it, so I hope I like this one more. And 2, I'm actually terrified of The Mummy. I watched the Mummy movie when I was a kid, and it's the only movie that made me sleep with a blanket over my head, terrified. I thought the mummy was going to come steal my eyes. I'm sure I won't feel that way as an adult anymore, but I just haven't watched it since. Now, the book isn't directly tied to the movie. In fact, she wrote a screen script for the mummy that got rejected and then turned it into a book, which I thought was fun, so I wanted to give it a try. This one says, Ramsay the Great lives, but having drunk the elixir of life, he is now Ramsay the Damned, doomed forever to wander the earth, desperate to quell hungers that he can never be satisfied. Reawakened in an opulent Edwardian London, he becomes the close companion of a voluptuous heiress, Julia Stratford, who is the center of a group of jaded aristocrats with appetites of their own to appease. But the pleasures Ramsay enjoys with Julia cannot soothe them. Searing memories of the last reawakening at the behest of Cleopatra, his beloved queen of Egypt, burn in his immortal soul, and his intense longing for her, undiminished over the centuries, will force him to commit an act that will place everyone around him in the gravest of danger. Hope I like it. I feel like Anne Rice's writing, though, is like sexy horror, and that's giving me this vibe. Who knows if I like that. Then my sci-fi pick of the month is Horus Rising, The Seeds of Heresy Are Sown by Dan Abnett. This is a 40k book. I don't know if you guys know the tabletop game. It's also a video game. I personally have only played the game a couple of times. I've seen a couple of the lore videos on YouTube. It was quite a while ago. So I do hope this is a good starting point into it. I know the world's quite complicated. My friend recommended starting here, so we'll see. This is the Crusades in space though. This is what it is. It's a military space opera, and it says, the Emperor's Great Crusade has placed his superhuman sons at the head of the mighty Space Marine legions, the most powerful military forces ever assembled. Newly promoted To War Master, the idealistic Horus now stands above his brothers, even as the crusade enters what must surely be its final stages. I'm looking forward to this. I think this could be a really fun read. Sometimes I like war space opera, so willing to give this a try. Next, we have my horror pick, which is actually a 5-star prediction. And finally, we're getting to a book that I wanted to prioritize for this year. If you want to check out that video, I'll link that down below. But it is The Reformatory by Tanner Reeve Dew. Really excited for this book. I have heard nothing but good things about it. It is a mix between historical fiction and horror, which sounds fantastic to me. I don't tend to gravitate towards historical fiction, yet whenever I read it, especially when it's mixed with historical mystery or historical romance or historical horror, I love it. So this is about a 12-year-old Robbie Stephenson Jr. He's sentenced to 6 months at Gracetown School for Boys, an institution. He's sent there for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister Gloria. So begins Robbie's journey further into the terrors of the Jimmy Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call reformatory. So this deals with the true horrors people face during that time, as well as there's definitely a paranormal aspect to this where he sees ghosts. So I'm very excited to get to this. I really hope it lives up to expectations. Lastly, I won't spend much time on this because this was in my other one as well, but I am going to be reading the John Candy book. I just really like him and I'm excited to get to this one right away. And I chose it as kind of my nonfiction pick for the month. I was hoping to get some history books, but I felt like I had already borrowed too much from the library, so I went with something that I have on my shelf. Those are all the books on my physical TBR that I hope to get to this month. Again, check out those other videos if you want to see what I'll be reading further, and I hope to see you in the next one.